What are your memories of the times you really enjoyed when they were small, when they were all at home?
Well, I think once we got the cottage, and now mind you, I didn't want the cottage, and the children can attest to that. See, my father, because he owned his own business and it was tough times, he never took holidays. But Pierce's father was a minister, so he had a set holiday. And they used to always go down to this Lake Tepo, which is in the Capel Valley. So he loved cottage, and loved being at a lake, so he wanted it. And there was an opportunity to bid on a lot in an area called the White Shell, which is just at the very east end of Manitoba. Actually, great Lake of the Woods country. So, as I say, much and all to my chagrin, we got this cottage. But it's been the home for the children, and they still come all the time. I'm very, very fortunate.
The gathering place.
Well, yes, because, like, for instance, Joan and Gary, who live in Switzerland, Calgary means nothing to them. Anne's lived in Calgary a lot, and so has Tom. David hasn't. So the cottage is home. And we got the lot the week before David was born. He was born in 1956. So we've had it ever since. And when we moved to Montreal in 1971, I said to Pierce at the time, as I say, by that time I was getting kind of used to it. But I said, well, should we get rid of the cottage? And he didn't say anything, but the family nearly had a fit. They wanted it. It's still where they want to be.
That smell when you open the door is so familiar, right?
Yes.
And you know where everything is. And do you still go to the cottage then?
Yes, I was there for 2 months last year. When Pierce retired, he had a heart attack shortly after he retired, but once he got, well, we would go down 24th of May, it's Tales of Thanksgiving.
Wonderful.
And the family would come. And we've been very fortunate to be able to have them all there at one time.
Now, Betty, Pierce died 5 years ago, is that right?
January 2007, yeah.
What is your strength in times like that? What pulls you through difficult times in life?
Your family is important, you know. Your family is a lot. And friends.
Well, when I asked you what your grandchildren bring to your life, you said more joy than I can say.
That's true.
What do you see are the challenges of this age for them?
You know, I was saying to somebody, I'm glad I'm not bringing up children now. It was a much easier life when our children, and like they were born in the 50s. Life was simpler then. I think the electronic age makes a tremendous difference.
But what would you say are the benefits for them of this age?
Well, they learn a lot more, and they meet a lot of people, and they keep in touch. Mind you, a lot of that started from the cottage. They've always kept in touch because of the cottage.
If there were one piece of advice you would offer to the grandchildren for living a good life, what would you offer?
I think you have to have perseverance. I think they need to have perseverance. And I think you have to have patience. And one thing that they certainly don't need is procrastination.
So those are 3 P words: perseverance, patience, and don't procrastinate.
Yes, I think that's one of the biggest things.
What gives you the greatest pleasure right now in your life?
Well, it's the family, I think, and the friends I've made. And yeah, it's my family. It's amazing how you count on them.
A favorite place to think?
Well, it would be at the lake. I love to sit out there on the dock in the morning when the sun's in the dock. And I know my family's behind me.
There's no better place.
That's right.
A favorite meal or food?
Well, you associate meals with happy times, so one of the best times is down at the lake with the barbecue, I suppose. You know, there again, it's the lake.
And if you could go back to somewhere you've traveled to in your life, where would you go to? I know.
The lake?
The lake.
Yes. You know, as I say, for years I kind of was mad at the whole thing because I felt that all the money we spent on the cottage, we could have done other things, but when I look back on it, it was the best thing we ever did.